Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Ghostbake SuperCoach here for our round 7 preview and trade plans. Obviously, getting this out on the Friday, so we have commenced the round. Started last night, Thursday night, with the Dogs and the Swans. It's a big week, as you can tell by the thumbnail. It is upgrade season, so we are going to talk about a few players that we're keen to bring in this week and in the oncoming weeks, and talk about a few strategies of what we can do, and also go through the team and what we've got for this week. So, yeah, last night, obviously, like I said, I'm usually out Thursday nights, so by the time I get to see the teams and I've got to do changes and stuff on the fly, so it does get a bit hard. Obviously, there was question marks around the Bont. If you're a Heaney owner, he dropped out and he's tweaked his calf for the second time this year, so hopefully he's all good there and it's nothing too bad and he'll be back next week. And then, yeah, we have the normal questions of rookie roulette and who we're trading out and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to talk to you a bit about my strategy and where I'm at and what we can do this week. But yeah, we're keeping it pretty simple. And yeah, we need a bounce back week because last week was absolute dog shit. So, but we've started pretty well. So we're going to have a look at the team here. So we heard the news that Finn Perez, is dropped. It said managed, so I'm hoping it's just this week and that he can come back next week. If not, he at least is a loop for us. So we're going to use him as a loop this week. And we decided to put Jakes onto the bench and loop his score. Looked really, really solid heading into halftime. He was on I think it was on 47 or something. And then a couple touches he got, they were more turnovers or ineffective, so he still went up a bit, but not by as much as he did in the first half. And obviously by that point, Sydney had put the game away, so scaling and all that wasn't too favourable. But a 69, a 75 would have been really good. So, but I'm not going to bitch about 6 points. We'll probably take that, I'd imagine, because yeah, Lindsay can go more than that, but you know, how much more? I don't really see him going like 90 plus. Like he definitely could, but I think we've got to temper our expectations with the rookies. And if I can get a 70, you know, last week I had 48s and 40s and 34s and shit on field, and a 69 looks pretty good compared to that. So I think I'm happy just taking that because I don't think Lindsay is going to score much more if he does. If it's only 10 points or so, like I'm sort of happy just to bank that at the moment. So as you can see, we've got Sinclair, Ash, Clark. We'll go through our trade plan soon. Farrow, I think, is pretty solid. With the way Collingwood play, I think he will be able to do the Essendon chip mark game. So I think for himself and Archie Roberts, I think they'll get a shitload of the ball in the back line for the Dons. It won't be the way Collingwood want to play. It'll be a low-scoring game, more defensive, so I can't see them putting too much pressure on the Bombers. We saw when they had to go last week, Nick just took over and did it. So if that's the case, then expect a bit more attack if they're down at three-quarter time. But I think Essendon will get a fair bit of their chip mark game going and then sort of roll the dice when needed. So Lockie Ash was disappointing last week. Not sure how North is going to go with their team. There's extended benches. There's questions around Blamires as well. It looks like he's going to get dropped. So this is before the Friday teams. So yeah, we're not sure, but it looks like he's going to get dropped. So what we're going to do is we're going to loop him as well, if that is the case. So we will go through that in a second. But yeah, so Ash needs to bounce back. They brought Constanti might be in. I would say that they're just going to leave Doveston in because I think that's pretty much the same sort of role. So we'll see who gets that spot, the small forward sort of thing. But Constanti did go to Ash last year, I'm pretty sure, and kept him pretty quiet. So they did that forward tag on the half backs. They've done that before. So which kind of helps lead into one of our trade-in targets this week as well. But look, yeah, we'll get to old mate Houston in a minute. But our midfield, so The Bond obviously came in under an injury cloud and just proved what a fucking awesome player he is. One leg, getting tagged, 29 touches, 2 goals, was so influential early. Bevo getting him played behind the ball off half back, using those amazing skills of the Bond. And yeah, a 135 is awesome. So look, for the people that don't own Bond, you're going to get him cheaper, probably be about 100k cheaper than what most people that have had him done. But this is what I mean. You've missed out on these spike scores that have happened, and they're not even really spikes for Bont. They're just scores. The two crap games are the outlier. This is usually what Bont does, and he just proved it again. This is with a tag under an injury cloud in a team that got spanked by 60 something points, and he still turned up and performed. So think about all the 130s, 140s, and 150s he's gotten this year. You've missed out on those points. Is that worth the 100k you've saved? Like, as long as your other picks have killed it, then yeah, it is. But at the same time, you get what you pay for, and I just think that I'm happy that I have him. But I think both camps would be happy. I think you're happy if you're getting him for 100k cheaper, but I'm happy having him in the team and know that he's going to go back up once those poor scores go out of his system. So super happy with Bond. I was expecting another like 60 to 80, and I was just like, we'll just see what he does. But he did extremely well, so couldn't be more happy with that. That's pretty much all we had for that game last night. As you can see, nothing else really involved in that. So look, if Tommy Blamires is out, what we're going to do is use him as a loop. So our first trade last night, we pulled the trigger getting rid of Jai Sarong. I had a feeling he would go 80 plus. I'm pretty sure I said it in the live stream earlier this week. But I just looked at it and go, he might not. Even if he gets around it, he's only going to make another 10 to 15k off that. And then, yeah, you can obviously make a little bit more. But I just figured he's not going to make... Best case is he makes 30k more than what I sold him for. Don't think he's getting 90s and 100s every week. And we saw last week he can easily drop a 50. If he drops a 50, he goes straight back down with the BE and the break even and everything. So it was between him and Jagger, and realistically, I did think Jagger was the one that needed to go. But because of the Blamires news and everything like that, and I just thought, look, let's just cash him out. Now he's at a really solid price. I'm happy he's made his 200k. And we've got to realize that the rookies that are all fattened up, your Jaggers, your Farrow will be there soon. Lindsay and Jake still have a little bit more, but these rookies that have fattened up, Lombard hasn't done much. Cook's still got a little bit to go, and Marshall, and Philippou as well. But all these guys are going to go in the next few weeks. Like, you're not keeping them for longer than the other, so it's not really that big a deal. It's more about the fact that we didn't get the 92 points from Sarong. The points are what matters. I'm not worried about the cash gen because everyone's going to sort of hover around the same mark. I don't think there's going to be anyone that's going to reset their cash gen full on that's going to be able to sit there and make another 100k more. Like, Jake's obviously has a really poor score in his system that can come out in a couple of weeks. He might make another 20, 30k. So you can hold on to players like that. Farrow obviously has a really low break even. He's a bit newer. But, your Carroll and Smith and stuff, how much more are they going to make? And they're the ones, you're going to have to go one up, one down this week, from now on pretty much anyway. So that's our upgrade season, and that's usually what we do. So don't get too attached to the rookies. Obviously Murdoch, Grill's 1-2. I'm only holding him because he has a decent run the next few weeks, but he'll go soon as well. So just don't be afraid to let go of the rookies because you're bringing in another rookie, hopefully, and a primo. So we've got our eye on Paddy Reshko next week or Edwards from Adelaide, and we'll see how they go as downgrade options for next week. But we pulled the trigger on Jai Sarong and got in Angry Anderson, as you can see. So we're going to loop him if Blamires is out. It's looking like he will be. So we'll loop him with Jagger and see how we go. I'm going to play Grill, even though he plays first, just because I think in that Richmond team, there's a lot of opportunity. Melbourne, I don't think are going to be super restrictive. I think they're going to really play their run and gun game this week against Richmond. And then Grill has West Coast after. So I've just got more confidence in Grill than I do Jagger and Angry Anderson at the moment. But Anderson's had two pretty decent scores. Jagger's, even when he's dropped, he's still getting around that 55 sort of mark. So it's not going to be a massive difference. Like I said, it's just Sarong's 92 points would have come in handy. But yeah, we're looking at the positives. So we're going to loop those boys. We're obviously going to go the VC on Maxi Gawn tonight. I really hate that fucking Max Heath is still in the team. Just do not disrupt Gawn's score, please, for the love of God. I know he won't get much game time, but just fucking play forward or something. Need a massive score from Gawn. The fallback will be probably Dacos. Even if McGrath goes to him, I think that'll be still fine. I think he'll still score pretty well, even if McGrath is on him. It is a little bit different if Dacos does decide to go forward, because McGrath has played backline on crafty forwards before, so he'll definitely do better than Ollie Hollands. But yeah, let's just pray that we don't need to fucking use Dakes, and we can just bank the score tonight with Gawny and relax for the rest of the weekend until possible other carnage pops up. But yeah, so this is what we're looking to do. Look, we did that trade and we've got 658k in the bank. So it's obviously a lot of coin. We're going to be smart with our trades. We're boosting. And by smart, I just mean last week I traded out Nando. Had I known he'd be back this week and the carnage that happened late in the round, I would have just kept him. But I'd already traded in Perez. And I'm not too mad about it. I get a loop this week, but he's made 50-something K. I think he'll come back into the team. So I'm not too mad about it, but in hindsight, I would have probably just kept Nando's and probably just even held off on trades. And yeah, seeing what we can do this week. But so essentially we're a primo down, which is why we've got a bit more money. But what we're doing this week is I've had enough of fucking Houston. I know a lot of people are going, well, he can spike and it could get over 100 this week. Yep, absolutely. Definitely could. Wouldn't surprise me against Essendon. But I've watched him most weeks. He is as piss weak as you get in terms of he doesn't demand the footy. As long as Josh Dacos is playing back there, he will not get the football as much. He got 38 or something points in that last quarter because of chip mark. And that can happen again, don't get me wrong. But if that didn't happen, he was probably dropping a 70 or something again. The issue is his break-even's like 113. If he drops you a 50, which we've proven before he can score what these rookies are scoring, like, would anyone really be surprised if he gets a 69 like Jake's? Wouldn't surprise me, but he's 200k more. So I'm not going to upgrade a Farrow or a Lindsay, or I could have done Jake's. I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to use Jagger and throw Farrow forward and then keep Houston, because the risk is if he drops a 50, there goes like 30k. I'm not having that, and I just hate watching him. So this way I get to get rid of him, get a top line primo defender in, and keep a bunch more money, which leaves me with more options next week while the rookies still build in price. Granted, Jagger probably won't build in price, but he doesn't have a risk of dropping a 20. I say that now, and he probably fucking will. He doesn't have a risk of dropping a 20 and then losing 30k like Houston can drop a 50 or a 60 and lose that money. So it was a bad pick. I own it. I was a fuckwit for picking him up. But what we're going to do is we're just going to get someone that I think is still value, and we're going to trade him up. It only cost us 130k for that. So that is not bad at all to get it in Lockie Whitfield. So look at that. Still got 530k in the bank, which is awesome. So yeah, happy with that. We've got the 4 primos set up. Like I said, Jakes and Lindsay can be handy scorers, and Farrow on field I think is a good option, with Perez obviously loop, and hopefully he'll be back next week. And then, like I said, we've got Jagger and Anderson will loop this week if Blamires is out, which it's looking like it. Murdoch's got plenty of money to make. Carroll, yeah, he could be one that goes next week. Same as Lombard. their break evens are low enough now that we can just keep them in. Carroll against West Coast might be able to do something. Who knows? But yeah, so obviously this week we need a forward. Like, it's absolutely paramount. We need a forward. It's not the greatest of lines. And look, we did look at J-Mac and glad we didn't go there. He is value, but dropped the 70, so it's not that impressive. And he'll sort of stay around the same price. I'm off the Bailey pick for now just because of the massive break even, and he dropped a stinker last week because that's who we were going Dev Rob to. But I'm looking to just get in a top liner, and it's either Track or Took. And I just think that if I don't get Track now, it's going to be a lot. He's going to stay around the same price, and same with Took. So it's just, who would you rather have? And I just think that, especially now with Nando's, Raul, and everyone in, I just think Track is going to be able to be a bit more free and not have so much of the burden on him. But I think he can score well. He might drop 10, 15, 20K over the next few weeks, but it doesn't really matter because I'd rather, if I can get him in now and he's going to score me consistent hundreds, even if he drops a bit, it's not that bad because the forward options are just, I'm not on them. I know a lot of people say jump on Cozzy Pickett, and most people have Cozzy Pickett, and I don't mind that as a pick. I definitely think he's a top 6 forward. However, this week he should kill it. Next week, he will probably have the Jordan tag just because there's no one else to go to at Melbourne. I don't think he'll go to Steele. I think he'll go to Cozzy and try to limit him. So there's a potential tag risk there. And also, it doesn't suit my buys. I already have 4 players on that buy. Yes, I can have 5, but that rules me out getting a Baz Smith, a Max Holmes, a Nazaya if I want Naz. So it really limits those players. Even Ed Richards' value at the moment that you could jump on. Not that his form's been that great, but that's fallen primo. We know we can turn it around. So, and also I only have 2 on the buy currently, premiums on the first buy, which is Shees and Butters. So I'm not hurting myself. So this is buy structure. So it's basically, I've eliminated everyone except for Took and Track. And I think it's just easier if we get in the big dog, Petrarca. Probably should have held him if we had known he was only going to miss the 3. But we got told 4 to 6. So, look, we make these decisions and we live by them, you know. And look at that. Still got 210K left for next week. And, yeah, all of a sudden we're looking a bit better. Projected just shot up a bit. And, yeah. So we will wait and see what the Friday teams look like. If, you know, hopefully Perez and ZZ don't come in, because then we won't have a loop unless, like I said, Blamires is out. But plenty of chances for loops, so gives us a little bit of room to play with. But yeah, just happy to get in Petrarca now. I don't think you might be able to get him, like I said, for 540 or something like that, but I'd rather just get him now, because we've got 210K in the bank. And then if we, you know, downgrade next week to a Reshko, if Bruin throws another stinker out, we can get rid of him. So there's plenty of options, and we do have to start moving some rookies on that are ready to go. If Blamires is dropped and then doesn't get back into the side next week as well, then there you go. There's another one that needs to go or can go up and down. So essentially we're losing 2 a week. And yeah, we've got eyes on Huey McCluggage. I've got eyes on Tim Taranto. You know, you got your Max Holmes, your Naz that you can look at. Obviously, need a ruck soon. We'll look at that around the buy. I think McAndrew's okay for now. The people that do have a double ruck combo, like Jackson, Gorn, Grundy, they're obviously killing it. But it's just, I just want to grab some value now while I can. I think Taranto, Took, and Hugh McCluggage would probably be the ones I target next. I think their value for what they can do. Took, I think, will average a flat hundy. Taranto's proven. I think he'll just consistently score like hundreds to... He'll be between 100 and 110. He's not a 115 kind of guy, but I think for his price, I think I'm happy to jump on that. It suits the buys as well, so that's one thing. And then obviously everyone's going to be looking at McCluggage coming up. I definitely want him against the Bombers, even if he might go down a little bit more. I just think when you got these matchups too, it's okay to get them in if they're only going to score high, and then you get the points and you're only saving 10K or something. It's fine. So yeah, we'll look to downgrade an option next week. That should give us an extra 100, and we should be about close to 400K to spend, and then we'll upgrade and keep that going, and then hopefully in a week or two we'll do our last boost and pick up 2 primos in 1 week, and then head into the buys where we'll have 3 trades anyway. But look, that's pretty much the team. Vice on Gorn, captain on Dacos at the moment. We'll see how that goes. Butters will probably have a shit one. Callahan will probably get tagged too, so not expecting shitloads from them. Yeah, so we'll see how we go. We're looking for a bounce back week. Happy with my back line. Mids, I'm okay with it just because I did have 6 primo mids that I'm a little bit not happy with it as much as I am. But the forward line, I'm glad I'm just not fielding Lombard or Steen. So, yeah, hopefully Tanner Bruin can bounce back too. But look, that's pretty much it. I've sort of spoken about the targets I'm after in the next couple of weeks. That might change. We know that chaos and shit can happen at any stage in this game. So, look, we roll with the punches and we be prepared for worst case scenario. But I was expecting a Bont 60 to 80 last night, and he dropped me a 135 when all logic said that he wouldn't or might not even play. So that's just what we're doing. Also, massive shout out to everyone that's helped out. Obviously, jumped on SuperCoach Pro's channel. I've had plugs from Damo, SuperCoach Edge, Rookie Coach, all these guys. So thanks heaps for the support, guys. And also give us a follow on Twitter or X, ghost_bakes is where you'll find me. I post the links to our videos and everything on there as well. And obviously, Ghost Bakes SuperCoach on YouTube where you're watching this now. But yeah, super happy with that. The subscribers have started to jump a little bit. The views are good. Just having fun, guys. And yeah, happy to have a chat and a laugh anytime. Let's just have some fun with it. Ranking, obviously, we're trying to climb back up, but this game should be fun. We need to enjoy each other and have a laugh and not take it so serious where we get pissed off and talk shit. So, excuse me. But that'll do us for today. Let us know what your trades are, who your targets are, and who you're looking at coming in, because it is upgrade season and it's exciting. So we don't want to plan too far ahead, but it's good to have a plan anyway. But thanks as always, guys, and we will catch you for our round review on either Sunday night or Monday. So keep an eye out for that. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good weekend. I hope your team kills it. See you guys.